The world is a very big book, filled with stories waiting to be discovered, and every country, every city, every winding road is a new chapter just waiting to be read. If you only stay in one place, you're only reading one page, missing out on the countless adventures, friendships, and lessons that lie beyond your doorstep. One morning, as the first rays of sunlight painted the sky in gold and pink, I stood with a map in my hand, a promise of adventure across continents, a ticket to the unknown. My heart beat with excitement and nerves. This was the start of something special. I could feel the thrill of possibility in every breath, the anticipation of stories yet to unfold. My backpack was heavy, but it carried everything I'd need, each item carefully chosen, each one a piece of home and a tool for the journey ahead. A warm coat for chilly mountain mornings, a sun hat for blazing afternoons, sturdy boots for endless trails, and a camera to capture fleeting moments. And most importantly, a journal for my thoughts, a place to record the laughter, the challenges, and the wonder I'd find along the way. The road ahead disappeared into the horizon, a ribbon of possibility stretching farther than I could see, inviting me to take that first step. I didn't know what I'd find or who I'd meet, and that was the best part. Every stranger could become a friend, every detour a new adventure. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. It's the moment you choose courage over comfort, curiosity over certainty. I breathed in the crisp morning air, feeling both small and infinite, thinking of all the places I'd only seen in books or dreamed about as a child. Now, I would see them with my own eyes. Ancient cities, wild landscapes, and wonders that had inspired generations. I would feel the cold mountain air on my skin, touch ancient stones worn smooth by centuries of travelers, and stand where history was made. This was more than a holiday. It was a pilgrimage to the wonders of our planet, a journey to understand the world and my place within it. With a final wave to the familiar faces and places I'd always known, I began to walk, feeling both the ache of goodbye and the thrill of new beginnings. Every step took me further from home, but closer to a new part of the world, and perhaps a new part of myself I had yet to discover. The sun climbed higher, a golden companion on my path, lighting the way forward and filling me with hope for the journey ahead. The road stretched on, a ribbon of possibility, winding through valleys and over mountains, promising stories I couldn't yet imagine. I felt a happiness that only comes from following your dreams, from stepping into the unknown and trusting that the journey will shape you in ways you never expected. The Peaks to Pyramids adventure was underway, and with every step I was ready to embrace the surprises, the challenges, and the beauty that lay ahead. This was the beginning of my grand adventure, and the world was waiting. My journey led me to the giants of the earth, the great mountains where the horizon stretches endlessly and the air is crisp with promise. Standing at the base, I felt both small and exhilarated, as if I was about to step into a world untouched by time. Their peaks, sharp against the sky, seemed to pierce the heavens, casting long shadows over the valleys below. Each summit told a story of ancient forces and relentless weather, sculpting the land into breathtaking forms. I traveled winding roads, passing villages clinging to hillsides, the air growing thinner and cooler with every turn. The people here live in harmony with the mountains, their homes perched on impossible slopes, their lives shaped by the rhythm of the land. Children played by mountain streams, and farmers tended terraced fields carved into the hills, their laughter and songs echoing through the valleys. Climbing these mountains would be a challenge, but I was ready. The anticipation was electric, my heart pounding with excitement and a touch of fear. With a local guide, I began my ascent, learning to walk the rocky paths, step by step. Each footfall was a lesson in balance and patience, as the trail twisted and rose ever higher. The crunch of gravel beneath my boots and the steady rhythm of my breath became my companions. The world below shrank as we climbed higher, trees giving way to rock, ice, and sky. The landscape transformed with every step, revealing new wonders and challenges. My legs ached, my lungs worked hard, but the sight of the peak kept me going. Every pause was a chance to marvel at the vastness around me, to catch my breath and gather my resolve. My guide's calm presence gave me strength. His quiet confidence and steady pace reminded me that the mountain was not to be conquered, but respected. He pointed out rare flowers and animal tracks, small wonders that made me forget my tiredness. Each discovery was a reminder that life thrives even in the harshest places. We watched mountain birds soar effortlessly above the cliffs, and tiny insects scuttle between rocks, each a part of this high-altitude world. The weather changed in an instant, sun, then fog, as if we were walking through clouds. One moment the world was bright and clear, the next we were wrapped in mist, our path hidden and mysterious. We trusted our path and our guide completely, a lesson in faith and perseverance. Every step forward was an act of trust, both in ourselves and in those who walked beside us. The mountain taught me patience and respect for its power. Its silence was profound, its presence humbling, reminding me that nature is both beautiful and unforgiving. With every step, my sense of accomplishment and awe grew. The higher I climbed, the more I realized how much there was to learn from this place. The summit was getting closer. Each breath, each heartbeat brought me nearer to the roof of the world, where the sky feels within reach and the journey itself becomes the greatest reward. After days of climbing, battling fatigue, and braving unpredictable weather, we finally reached the summit. Each step had been a test of endurance, determination, and spirit. The journey was long and often grueling, but the anticipation of this moment kept us moving forward, even when our bodies ached and the air grew thin. Standing on top of the world, all my tiredness vanished, replaced by pure joy and a sense of accomplishment I had never felt before. The view was breathtaking, and I felt a surge of energy as I looked out over the endless expanse below. Peaks stretched in every direction, a sea of white waves under a deep blue sky. The landscape was both fierce and beautiful, reminding me of nature's raw power and its delicate artistry. It was a sight that made every hardship worthwhile. The silence was majestic, broken only by the wind whispering across the snow. Up here, the world felt untouched, as if time itself had paused to admire the view with us. I felt small, yet incredibly alive. The vastness of the mountains made me realize how tiny we are in the grand scheme of things, but also how powerful the human spirit can be. My worries faded. Only the mountain, the sky, and the view remained. In that moment, nothing else mattered. The peace and solitude were unlike anything I had ever experienced. My guide and I shared a simple meal. Everything tastes better after such effort. We laughed, exchanged stories, and savored the food, grateful for the warmth and companionship at the top of the world. We watched clouds drift below us, the world peaceful and unspoiled. It felt as if we were floating above the earth in a place reserved for dreams and quiet reflection. Leaving the summit was hard, but as the sun set, painting the peaks in gold and pink, I felt deep gratitude. The colors danced across the snow, and I knew this memory would stay with me forever. The mountain had challenged me, but it gave me a priceless gift. The memory of standing closer to the sky than ever before, and the realization that the greatest rewards come to those who dare to climb. Descending from the mountains, a new chapter began, exploring the lands and people between peaks and pyramids. The world changed with every mile, mountains to hills, then plains. I traveled by train, bus, and sometimes in the back of a farmer's truck. Bustling markets, quiet villages, and most importantly, the people I met. Each encounter was a lesson in kindness. We didn't always share a language, but a smile and laughter bridged any gap. I was invited into homes, shared meals, and became part of families, if only for a night. These moments were the true heart of my journey. I learned that despite our differences, we all want happiness, safety, and connection. Each person added a new thread to the tapestry of my adventure, showing me the generosity of the human spirit. Leaving the mountains, the air warmed and the landscape changed to a patchwork of green and gold fields. I traveled through the heartlands, watching farmers work in tune with the land. Life here was simple, honest, and deeply connected to the seasons. Long train rides became a time for reflection, the world passing by like a living film. Children waved, cattle grazed, and women carried water, everyday scenes that fascinated me. At small stations, I stretched my legs, tasted local snacks, and felt part of the great flow of humanity. This journey taught me patience and the value of being present. The heartlands were a gentle interlude, a bridge between the mountains and the mysteries of the desert. The green fields faded into the desert's rugged beauty, shades of brown, red, and orange. The desert was full of life if you knew where to look, strange plants, darting lizards, and endless silence. I joined a caravan of camels led by a wise desert guide. Riding a camel, swaying gently, was peaceful and timeless. At night we camped under a sky ablaze with stars, the Milky Way bright above. My guide shared stories of ancient kings and lost cities, the desert holding secrets beneath the sand. The desert taught me resilience and the importance of history. I felt the weight of centuries around me, as if traveling back in time. One afternoon I saw them, tiny triangles on the horizon, growing larger until they filled my view, the Great Pyramids. No picture could prepare me for their immensity and power. I stood speechless, feeling the ancient energy radiate from the stones. Touching the sun-warmed blocks, I imagined the generations who built them. The pyramids are a testament to human determination and unity. I explored the area, marveled at the Sphinx, and watched the sunset bathe the stones in gold. As darkness fell, the pyramids became mysterious silhouettes against the stars. I thought of my journey, from snowy peaks to ancient sands, a journey of contrasts and discovery. The pyramids, enduring for millennia, were the perfect end to an epic adventure. This journey was more than a trip across a map, it was a journey inward. The mountains taught me my limits and my strength. Cultures opened my mind, showing me new ways to live and think. The kindness of strangers restored my faith in humanity. Long travels gave me time to reflect on my life and dreams. I filled my journal with thoughts and realizations. By the end, I was changed, more patient, curious, and appreciative. The greatest souvenir was the personal growth I carried in my heart. With the pyramids behind me and the memory of the peaks in my mind, I felt profound joy and gratitude. The journey was over, but its impact would last a lifetime. I learned the world is filled with kindness, beauty, and wonder, waiting to be explored. The greatest discoveries are in the connections we make and the kindness we share. We are all part of one global family. I hope my story inspires you to dream and explore. Adventure is a state of mind. Step outside your comfort zone, try something new, and embrace the world's wonders. The horizon is not an end, but an invitation to new adventures. Go and find them.